Cambodian activist Loung, author of First They Killed My Father, visited the Fitchburg Senior Center and Fitchburg High School, sharing her story of surviving the Khmer Rouge genocide. Telling her story didn't start on a stage. It started quietly after coming to the United States and realizing many people didn't understand Cambodia or what she had been through.
I came to America in 1980 and nobody knew anything about Cambodia. And that was really, really tough for me, actually, growing up, coming from where I came from with the story I have, and people not understanding and not knowing anything about it.
At first, she couldn't talk about it. Instead, she turned to writing, filling journals with memories she couldn't say out loud.
It was just the more I spoke, the harder it got for me to speak about the trauma. And what I did instead was, when I couldn't speak about it, I started writing. I wrote in my journal, I wrote in my diary, and I just wrote all the time, all the stories I couldn't tell.
Years later, those journals became her book. But she says one moment pushed her to share her story with the world, hearing the Khmer Rouge leader Pol Pot describe the genocide as an act of love.
And I was so angry. I was like, no, this is not what love looks like. Love does not create a genocide. Love does not kill. Love does not torture. So I went out and set out with my pen to negate his policy, to tell the story of what love really looks like to me between parents and children and brothers and sisters. And so this is my love story to my family and to Cambodia.
Loung says while her story includes trauma, the hardest parts to write were the moments of love she lost, simple things like being with her family.
But when I see beauty, that wrecks me. When I see a father playing with his son or daughter in a park, kind of wrecked me. It's hard to harden yourself when beauty is so prevalent and shining. And those are the kind of things I miss so much about my family. It's just being together for dinner and playing with my brothers and sisters and sitting on my father's lap and listening to his stories. All the things that I think so many Americans take for granted. Those are the kind of things that I want.
Now, she shares her stories in communities like Fitchburg, where she says people are open to listening and learning from one another.
And I'm going to go to places where people want to care and want to know, as opposed to places where people do not want to know. I appreciate about Fitchburg. The students I've met have all been really kind. They have come up to me and really just were asking for hugs, and which I was really happy to give.
Loung hopes her story reminds people not to take everyday moments for granted and to recognize their role in creating change.
Do not take your freedom, your breath, your health, your love, your family, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Easter. Do not take what you have in life for granted. You just don't know how long you're going to have it and how long it will stay with you. Just do not take your joy, your love, your grace, your generosity, all of that. Just do not take it for granted.
She says stories like hers help build empathy, and that empathy is what leads to stronger, more connected communities.
In a world where everything happens so fast, like instant information, instant facts, that we sometimes are at risk of losing our human ability to feel. But a good story, well told, well cared for, actually has the ability to change hearts and minds. And when a heart and mind is changed, it's when we can create change in the world.
Loung says that creating change starts with understanding others and listening to stories that might not be your own. For North Central News, I'm Zoe Chrysostomidis.